always, this is my co-host Dalton. Today, we're just going to be previewing the upcoming Purdue road trip to USC, and then that is on Saturday at 6 p.m., 3 p.m. local time in California. So kind of an early game for the guys. I heard Braden say on Running Point that they are not doing a walkthrough, which is a little weird. So I'm not sure if that was intentional by USC or not, but that.
You good?
Do you, I hear something in the background.
Of mine?
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, guys. My computer was doing funky stuff there. It was like echoing everything I just said back to myself. So, um, yeah, so should be a fun game. They are an interesting team. I think they have a lot of size, especially at the wing position stuff. They start a lot of big guys. They play physical. This will be a good test for Purdue because this is the kind of team we tend to struggle with. Athletic, long. They play hard. They play fast. They score a lot of points. And then they have a lead dominant guard that will just go nuts on you if you allow them to do so. So what are your first thoughts on USC and, what are your thoughts just leading into this game and what it means for Purdue, going forward?
Yeah, it's Chad Baker, my old man. I'm not a huge fan, but you know how it is with him. I haven't liked him. I didn't like him at Auburn. But yeah, I think it should be a good test for us on the road. Purdue plays better on the road, so hopefully we go out to the West Coast and come back 2-0, What's up, Andy? What's up? What's up,
And
everybody in the chat?
Saluki in here, Blake Widmer in here. Nice to see you guys. Happy that you guys
Wow,
can join us.
all the homies. Oh boy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It says you're not being recorded. Is what it is. Yeah, Blake. Chad Baker Mazzaro, I do believe he does play in this game. The injury in the last game, he didn't start. Said he was a little injured, and then in this game, in that game, he ended up playing some. Kind of looked a little hobbled. So we'll see what happens. It didn't look like an injury that's going to be a long-term thing for me, though. I think he plays in this game, and if he ends up playing and not being really that 100% good for us. But also, this could be his, Michael Jordan flu game. He's that kind of player that will take something like that and try to make it all about him. And it's, I'm injured, but I'm still going to take you down. So let's just jump right into it. We'll hit the players first, and then we'll kind of hit some more overarching stuff. Let's start with, the engine that stirs or that drives the ship here. Chad Baker Mazzara, 6'7", wiry, 170-pound wing guard, forward, whatever you want to call him. He kind of does it all for him. He's we remember him last year from Auburn. He wasn't nearly as much of a focal point for that team as he is for this team, especially with the injuries that USC has endured. Rodney Rice not being there is huge. I mean, he would have made this team a lot better. Elijah Arenas, another guy who was, projected to be a top 10 kind of freshman, just a really good young player. He's out for the season, or not for the season maybe, but he's out for now. And, then they just recently had Marion Dickerson go out, who's maybe their best defender. So they're just battling injury left and right. But Chad Baker Mazzaro is the guy. What are your initial thoughts on him? And, what do you think Purdue can do to kind of slow him down and make things difficult for him?
I think he's going to be in the trademark Derek Bag of Cocks. He's an experienced player. He should be. He is, in his 6th year of college. So I would hope that he is, ready to go, since some guys his age have been in the NBA for 4 years now. He's playing 30 minutes per game. It's not him that I'm worried about. You kind of know what he's going to do. It's kind of like when we faced Auburn, what Pettiford's going to do. And you can, put the pressure on to try to stop that and stop the bleeding, but he's still going to get some on you. He's a player. I mean, he knows the game, and he's been around a long time. But I can't respect a guy that is 26 playing against 18-year-old kids.
Yeah, he could legitimately. He's not that far off from being able to be like Omer's dad, in a different kind of weird situation that would have to happen for that to happen. But he's a go-to scorer for them, though. Especially with those other guys out, he's there's times where he gets the ball and they just say, go do something. Now, they also run a lot of pick and roll for him. And this year versus like previous years under their head coach, Musselman, they run a little bit more stuff. They used to just completely be a free flowing kind of AAU style basketball, but they run a little bit more, but it almost always ends in just him getting the ball and him going. But that being said, he has a great mid range. He can score from all three levels. He's not really a huge guy that's going to go beat you one on one and take it all the way to the basket most of the time. He'll shoot a floater. He'll shoot a pull up. He'll just step back and shoot a three from 6 feet behind the line. Very versatile, 6'7". So that'll be interesting to see how, Cox handles a guy that's that much bigger and still very quick. He doesn't have bulk whatsoever, but he is just a weird, lanky, wiry player who moves kind of funky and can really just get things going. Now, he is also somebody who can get turnover prone because he gets overhandling of the basketball. If anybody's ever watched with or played with a guy who has, or not played with a guy, my bad on that. Anybody has played alongside someone who has just dribble, turnover, because they just don't know what to do. They're just dribbling to dribble. He does that at times, and that's really the way you can kind of slow him down, kind of make him do that up top and do a little dance with it. But heck of a basketball player. I mean, yes, he is 26, and this team in general with USC is old. They have a lot of older guys. This is kind of what I think they're 13th in the country.
Yeah,
they're an old team. They play older guys. Yet the funny thing is they have nobody returning other than a guy who redshirted last year, who is also 23 years old because he played for Michigan for 4 years.
right.
So interesting team. It'll be fun to watch what happens here.
Their average height is 4th in the country.
Yeah, they're tall. I mean, look through their lineup. Almost
Yeah.
their small guards are 6'5".
Yeah.
Like-
Eric Musselman, I don't think he could coach the NBA Dream Team. That's how I feel about Musselman. It's like he could find a way to lose in the NBA semifinals with the Dream Team. I don't think he's a good coach. And, like we faced Baby McCollum last game. I think he's a good mid-major coach. I don't think he's ready for Big Ten. And I also feel the same way about Musselman. He went from the SEC to the Big Ten, and I still think that's a step up. SEC teams couldn't hang in the Big Ten gauntlet that is the Big Ten season. Like, I think you would see these teams fall apart. And if you see USC is built like an SEC team and what is happening to them in a Big Ten type of run, they're getting beat up.
Yeah. So when it comes to Mazzara specifically, what do you think? CJ's probably going to get CJ Jakari will probably get that matchup. I can't imagine us putting Fletcher Lawyer on him. What do you think the keys are for those guys to kind of slow him down, stop him? Is it kind of make him become a 3-point jump shooter? Because if he gets around them, he's got enough size to really kind of get our bigs in foul trouble, and he's a good enough passer to create some stuff.
Yeah, I think you force him to his offhand, which is what I watched Braden and others try to turn Iowa players to their offhand. They specifically do it. They will guard a full side, and they will run you into our bigs. That's what I would say. Do force him in. I don't necessarily want him getting going off the 3-point line because he's a streaky guy, and if he gets one to go down, it could be 6 or 7 that fall. I mean, he shoots 40% from 3. No, that's
37, I believe.
37, yeah. I mean, about what Fletcher shoots, and we shoot as a team. So, I mean, you don't want a guy like that to get going. Honestly, what I would do is force him into the bigs. I know you said something about foul trouble, but we've got 15 fouls.
Right, yeah.
So, I can't see anything right now because it says my recording has stopped and it wants me to refresh. So if you just want to take over for a minute, I'll jump back in.
Yeah.
I can't see the chats or anything, so it's going to be a problem as we go on. So I'll jump out real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Baker Mazzara is going to be the guy that either wills them to victory or it completely collapses like he has in the other big games this year. I mean, they lost to 30 by 30 to Michigan, 29 Michigan State. Against the best teams that they've played, they've been pretty bad, to be honest. You know, they're middle of the road offense efficiency, middle of the road defense efficiency. The only thing that, you know, if you look at them, they do tremendously well is block shots and shoot free throws. And the blocking shots, believe it or not, is a lot of Mazzara. That's a big part of his game. He does this thing where he'll get behind his guy almost on purpose as his guy's driving and just try to block it from behind, almost LeBron chase down style. And he's just so long and lanky at 6'7", and he'll be guarding. You know, I could definitely see them putting him on Braden for a little bit to really make Braden uncomfortable. If anyone remembers last year, USC really trapped Braden hard. Whether or not they do that again this year is completely up in the air because Musselman's a wild card and he will go from a 1-3-1 to a 2-3 to a full trap to a full court deep. I mean, he's out of control. He has no idea what he's doing. He just puts it all on the board and says, "Let's see." You know, he's throwing spaghetti at the wall. But let's move on to Azur or Asar, however you pronounce his name. And Blake said, I'm worried about Azar more than Mazzara. And I tend to agree with that. I mean, this guy's 6'9", 250 something pounds, just a hoss on the court. And he literally shoots, I think he's maybe like top 5 in the country in free throw rate. He shoots a ton of free throws. He's not a great free throw shooter, oddly enough. He shoots around 60 to 65%, but he is a physical body. He can score around the rim. He's a good rebounder. He's a tough matchup inside, and I don't know who. I assume this will be Clough, but they also have a random 7'5" guy they can bring in, so it could get really interesting if they played them together. But I assume it'll be Asar and Kofi, and this will be the TKR matchup, and I can see TKR getting incredibly frustrated. At the same time, I have to assume he's going to bounce back from the last game in that effort. So, what are your thoughts on Asar, Ezra Asar, and you know, kind of how do we match up against a guy who is legitimately bigger than any of our guys, not named Oscar Clough?
Just like we have all year, you know, it's just like eating a horse, one bite at a time. You know, like I always say, that's my saying. This guy went to East Carolina University for 2 years, went to Utah last year. He's a big body fella. I think TKR has something to prove. You know, after Braden says he's on social media all the time, that Trey sees everything. So Trey knows what the fan base is thinking right now, and I expect a monster game out of him. So if that includes guarding this guy, um, I I think Trey handles it. Blake says it could be ugly for him, but we watched him guard fives all year last year.
Yeah.
I mean, guys that are bigger than this. Obviously, this dude, he's listed at 253. That means he weighs about 280. Um, but he's very efficient inside. He shoots 60% this year. Um, 6 rebounds per game. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I just don't think that anything they can do offensively can keep up with our efficiency. No matter what we do defensively, I just don't think they are a disciplined enough team to compete with us efficiency wise. They like to run and gun, and when you run and gun against Purdue, you lose. We've seen it this year.
Yeah, I mean, my big thing with Azar isn't really a lot of like even his scoring. It's you know, as of now, he draws. I think he's 7th in the country. Draws 8.3 fouls per 40 minutes. Shoots the 4th highest free throw percentage in the country as far as like amount of attempts, and that scares me a little. Just because if we have to bring Jacobson into this game, which we surely will at some point, this is a guy that's big and strong and bulky and crafty, and I think Jacobson could get in foul trouble quick. It's just going to come down to being smart. You know, Painter and the staff know what this guy does and who he is. It's about going straight up. It's about being strong and not really letting him get the ball down low. Because if you can turn this guy into a jump shooter, which he has a tendency to think he is, you can kind of trick him into that a little bit. Like almost like you can kind of do with TKR. Get him shooting those longer floaters and hook shots and stuff like that rather than going towards the basket. So number one objective, though, to stop a foul situation for a big guy is to stop the dribbler. If you let the dribbler penetrate and then kick over to this guy, now he's got position, or he's got inside position, and he's going to use his body and his craftiness to get a foul drawn and probably make it as well. So will be an interesting matchup for sure. Probably, I kind of agreed with what Blake said. This is probably the scariest matchup on paper for Purdue. And Blake says here exactly Asar's game is getting to the free throw line that could frustrate TKR. And that's kind of where I was coming from. Not that TKR is going to play poorly, is that TKR has been showing he gets frustrated. And a guy like Azar is exactly who's going to frustrate you if you are a guy who is easily frustrated, because he's crafty. He's going to get fouls called because it's the way he moves, the size of him. He can take that contact, kind of make it look bad. And a guy that big gets moved, the refs go, that's a foul. It was almost like Edey's problem a lot of times when he played was he would get slapped, hammered on, and he would still go up as if nothing happened because he's way bigger and stronger. Well, the times when Edey actually did get moved, they almost always called a foul because a guy that big, he's being fouled if he's getting moved. And it's the same thing with him. So,
yeah.
Any final thoughts on Azar? Because I do think this is probably the key matchup of the game.
No, I just want to see our bigs handle business, and maybe if it gets out of hand, you move Clough over onto him. You know, it's like you got to make moves and adjust as we go. If TKR's not handling the matchup well, I bet you Clough will. I bet you that guy won't do this on Clough. Like Clough he's as physical as anybody can play against us.
You're correct. And I almost think this is the one game of the season, if there's going to be one, that you could potentially see a Clough and Jacobson in at the same time, because he's a bigger Jeremy Fierce. I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to. I'm sorry I mentioned his name on my podcast. That's an unfortunate. Thank you, Blake, though, because Clough could need to be on this guy, and then we'll go to the next guy, Jacob Kofi, who's their other big, who is more of a shot blocking style big. He's not really a high usage rate. He doesn't get the ball a whole ton like Kofi does. He's, a 231-pound guy. So a guy that I think there's a big chance Clough does guard Asar and TKR might guard Kofi. Yeah. But that's just kind of what's going to happen here. What are your thoughts on Jacob Kofi? When I watched two of their games. I'm not going to say I've watched a ton of USC. I just saw him more as a defensive presence. And then he scores when he gets the ball down low, and really that's about it. He can't shoot from outside. He's not a three-point shooting threat.
Yeah, I honestly haven't watched much USC either. They're never prime time. They're never a top matchup. Like I said, I watch a lot of top matchups. He's 10-6 or 10-7 if you want to push the envelope. So obviously, playing against the competition level that they have, this kid's for real. Smaller, 231. Trey's what, 250 probably.
I think they list him at 235.
Yeah, but his calf muscles are.
He's 235 pure muscle.
His calf muscles are 235, bub.
Yeah,
they'll squat this dude. But I think this would be a better matchup for Trey size wise. I think that Arsar guy could probably get Trey into some foul trouble. Like you said, he's not super level-headed right now and has zero poker face, so we don't need Jakari getting teed up covering him again. So.
Oh, man. Why don't you tell the people what you sang at that sorority, since you're going to drop poker face here?
Anyways. Stewart Co-op, when I was pledging Jim and I down at Purdue, we had to go to Stewart, the Christian girls' house, and we had to do a karaoke night where they all stood there, every girl in the house, and we had to, pick a song to sing, and mine was Poker Face by Lady Gaga. It was very popular at the time.
Do you want to give us a little follow-up here?
It's long gone, Derek. How dare you do this to me right now?
Dude, this is what you get for all the damn beeping of the alarms, dude.
Oh, it's not over, bub. It's not over.
I did want to quickly say, there's about 25 or 30 people watching on X. If you want your comments read and stuff, head on over to YouTube and leave a comment there, and we will definitely try to read your comment. So, moving forward, those are their big guys. Those are the two main ones you're going to see. They do have, like I said, a 7'5" guy who hangs out on the bench a lot, but he is He's still a force. I mean, Gabe Dines is his name. He is 7'5", 215 pounds. So he is like taller than Jacobson and also skinnier than Jacobson. He is a little man when it comes to width, but I mean he's 7'5", so he doesn't play like an exceptionally large amount of minutes. He plays about 12 minutes a game. A little bit smaller role than like you'd see in Jacobson. Honestly, doesn't really block a ton of shots or anything like that. He is a junior, didn't play at the D1 level, so or yeah, at the high major level. But he's somebody that's probably going to show up in this game, and you're going to go, holy crap! I would assume he may come in while Jacobson's in, and that could be maybe the tallest um, one-on-one thing in the history of college basketball. You know, it's going to be a 7'5" versus 7'4", and I'll take Jacobson all day in that matchup. Do you have anything to say about him? I know he's not a very prominent figure on their team.
Independence, Kentucky, and Youngstown State University. We will eat if this guy enters the game. Clough might put up 12 just in the few minutes he's in.
Clough might genuinely eat him.
Yeah, he might hurt this guy, so just keep him out of the game, Muscle.
Blake said he's just tall.
That is a true statement here, Blake. Thank you.
You remember when Painter used to get on the interview and say, like, yeah, they say, no, there are guys who are just tall. He's not one of them, talking about Edie. Yeah. This guy is just tall.
We've seen it. His name is Matt Harms.
No, Matt Harms had great hair, too. Don't mess that up. Okay.
Well, he also frustrated Carson to no end, so.
And then they have a kid named Jordan Marsh, who is I believe a backup point guard. He's a smaller guy, 5'11", junior. If I remember correctly, he kind of joined the team like a month ago. I could be wrong, but I believe he was somebody who didn't get picked up in the portal. They just picked him up, and now all of a sudden he's starting on this team because of all the injuries that they've had. So he's like just a feisty little fella. He's capable of a lot of things. You know, he's a good player, actually a pretty decent passer, shoots free throws really well, shoots three-pointers at 40%. He's not a bad player, honestly. But if they bring him in, it's almost a relief for Purdue because they finally have somebody that's Braden's height. And it's an easy matchup defensively for Braden. So do you know anything about this guy? Obviously, he's only played like 4 games, I think, with him.
I know nothing about this guy. I know that his picture on ESPN.com looks like Old Dirty Bastard, like ODB, the rapper from Wu-Tang era. This guy's 5'11", 146. It's going to make Braden look like he's massive.
Yeah, Braden's going to look like a power lifter.
He went to App State, and then he went to UNC Asheville before coming over to USC. Plays about 19 minutes a game, so like a Jakari-style minute play. And, you know, he shoots pretty well from 3.
Yeah.
47.4%. I mean, so got to be aware of him out there when he's out there. Can't leave him on an island.
Just for reference, what's your 13-year-old son weigh?
Dude, I don't even know anymore, man. He's
got to be 130.
He's probably 140, 130.
Yeah, he's about as big as this dude.
It's hard to move him, so.
Yeah, he's this guy's is a smaller guy, but he is
solid.
He is a good shooter. He's quick. He's very quick.
I would guess to be on USC, you got to be doing something.
So. This was almost a Hail Mary. We have to have somebody pick up, though. They didn't initially want this guy, but got to keep an eye on him because he's one of the few guys on their team that will run the point outside of when Mazzara kind of decides he's a point guard for half the game. This is the actual guy that can really run the point, but really everything he's doing out there is either to set up Mazzara or to play off of Mazzara. He's not going to really create his own shot or do anything crazy. He might get into the paint and kick, but shouldn't be somebody we're super worried about. And then I just want to go over to Jerry Easter the second. Love anybody with that name, but he is a wing guy, pretty good player on this team, if I'm being completely honest. 6'5", 193-pound freshman. One of the only freshmen that plays on this team. They are, like I said, very old. So plays about half the minutes, so 20-ish so minutes a game, maybe a little more. He does score in bursts, though. He's a very like CJ Cox of last year is kind of how I would describe him. He can come in and just get going. If he's on that night, he can make 4 or 5 threes. He's inconsistent, which is common for freshmen, but if any given night could be his night. Do you know anything about Easter? And if so, what do you have to think about him?
I love his 3-point percentage this year, 18.2. So he'll probably shoot about 65% against Purdue,
No,
with
I
a
think he's.
hand in his face.
If I'm not wrong, like I think he's had a couple games where he's went like 3 for 7 or something like that, and all three came in like 2 minutes.
Nice.
Um, he's just one of those guys that can just get it going crazy out of nowhere.
Toledo, Ohio, stand up, Ohio. But I I don't know. I'm not too worried about him. I'm not really worried about anybody on this team. Like I'm not. Simping sleepers Discord,
Will the Liam
please.
Murphy simp and sleepers Discord please raise their hand? I haven't seen that Rick is Morty. I'm not sure who you're talking about, but
Is
if
that
they're in
you,
here,
Derek?
am I a Liam Murphy simp? If it's me, it's me. Um, I was early on. I thought Liam Murphy should play more because I think he can shoot 3-pointers, and that's something Purdue has been very inconsistent with all year. We're being outshot on our home court from a percentage standpoint for the year. So I know you're trolling, Rickist, but I'm just being dead serious. Like maybe we need somebody who just comes in and makes threes because it's been a problem at times for us. So
Benter and Murphy lineup. What do
yeah,
you
how about
think?
that? Let's put Bender at the 3, Murphy at the 4, run
Cox
Trey at
at
the
the
5,
one.
Cox at the 1, Lawyer at the
Dude,
2, and we just run all 3-point shooters lineup.
come on.
And then somehow in that lineup, the only guy shooting threes will be Trey Kaufman-Renn.
Yeah.
That's just what
He
you
was
would do.
wide open last game, man.
No, he's always open. What are you talking about? All right, we'll go to quick. They have a big guy. Oh no, we already went through him. They have a couple guys on the bench that play some. Britt Burton is a forward. He just kind of is depth in the wing and rotation. Ryan Cornish is a guard. He's got some experience, but he doesn't play a ton. And then I think his name's Goran, another guy who is pretty. Oh, that's Carton. Jeez, Labubu, what's up, man? He's always in the wrong spot on D. Yeah, well, there's nothing untrue about what that statement just said.
Yeah.
He does not play very good defense, and that's why he also doesn't play because he
play.
cannot figure out how to stay in front of somebody, and he gets killed on cuts. I don't understand it for a guy who's a senior and comes from a good program and background, but he's not good against cutting. Do you have anything to say about any of their other rotation players?
Dude, I don't care about USC. Like, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, I don't care about them. I hate the West Coast teams. I hate Eric Musselman, and I definitely hate Chad Baker Mazzara. Rickus Morty. Feel like there's a celeb in the building. There's a bunch in here tonight. We got Blake Widmer. We got Andy from Colorado. We got Saluki in here, dude. It's just all the boys hanging out tonight. What a great Friday. Thank you guys for chilling.
Yeah, unless you're really into Creighton and Providence, there's nothing to watch on TV.
Hell yeah, that's why they're all here, dude.
Yeah, yeah. They already watched Running Point last night, and
Yeah.
every other preview that's been
I
out.
guess
So
we'll give these guys 10 minutes. KB's in the building. Shout out to my wife. Everybody say hello and be very nice, please.
Be as
we're
mean
going
as
to
you
go
possibly
into
can.
a segment before we get into Purdue that I like to call players that are the same age as Chad Baker Mazzara. This is going to be a fun little skit. We've never done anything like this, so ride with me here. First off, Luka Doncic was born the same year as Chad Baker Mazzara. Incredible. It feels like the guy's been in the league forever. And
he has
is
a legacy with two different teams.
Same age as a guy playing college ball. Okay, we'll go to the next one. I'll be nice. Jalen Green. So another guy that feels like he's been playing forever. Cade Cunningham. That name, Oklahoma State. Stud. Guy plays with Ivy. Tyrese Halliburton.
Hey.
Feels like he's been in the league forever. I feel like he's a distinguished gentleman for the Pacers. This is insane, dude. Jonathan Kuminga. Not as big of a name, but a baller. Jalen Johnson. Memphis Grizzly. Plays with our
Played at
our
Michigan
GOAT.
State, right?
Everybody praise the GOAT. Zach Edey, the GOAT. R.J. Barrett. Feels like he was in college 10 years ago. Same age as this dude. Darius Garland. Emmanuel Quickly.
How many of these you got, bro?
Devin Vassell. and Killian Hayes. This is my list. Okay, I'm gonna stop it there.
You forgot Ant Edwards, who's younger.
And yeah, I mean,
He's had
the
3
list goes
prime
on and
TV
on.
shows.
It's pathetic, dude. It is absolutely pathetic and a travesty to college basketball is what Chad Baker Mazzara is. I don't like the kid, and I hope we just frustrate him to no end, dude.
I love that. Great segment.
Thank you.
I'm going to answer
Thank
Rickus Morty. His question, is it possible for Chad Baker Mazzara and TKR, two 3-letter words here, both to be on Pluto at the same time, or does TKR bounce back? Well, I don't know if you mean Pluto the planet or just really far away from this game, but I'm going to start out with the planet. I
Pluto.
do believe that it is impossible for them both to be on Pluto at the same time because Chad Baker Mazzara would have already mistaken one of the other planets for a ball and shot it toward the sun. TKR would have found a black hole somewhere and lived inside of that, thinking about the rest of eternity. If you're Ant Wright and Chad Baker Mazzara are the same.
This is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
and,
if you can find any nice finds that are the same age as CBM, put them in the chat. Yeah, we want these. This is probably my favorite segment I've ever done. I just cannot stand this dude. Like, grow up, Peter Pan. Get out of college basketball. Stop ruining the sport I love, dude. Please.
He's going to end up getting drafted and not play and then try to come back again.
Yeah, a G leaguer at
it's gonna
29 years old, dude, with 3 kids. Like, come on, bro.
Oh, that's a joke, Rickus. I would have believed it.
Oh, hey, this guy's old, man. I don't know when Ant Wright played. I didn't even, until a couple of years ago, I didn't even know he played at Michigan, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can you look that up for us, Rickus? Give us
Rickus,
Ant Wright's birthday.
Tell me how old. Wait. Did Kayla just say RJ Barrett is my cousin?
Yeah, her dad's last name is Barrett. Her last name used to be
RJ Barrett from North Carolina?
Yeah, dude.
Get out of my life, dude. No, he isn't. All right, let's move on. We've kind of went off kilter here. Anybody who hopped in during that, if you were looking for a preview for USC,
I told you we just have fun in here. I told everybody on Twitter we have fun.
Yeah, we'll continue a little bit. Yeah, what are your thoughts on what do you want Purdue to do in this game? We'll get to like what we want from each player and stuff, but overall, obviously this is the 2-game stretch here on this road trip that is going to be vital to winning the Big Ten, in my opinion. So, what do you want Purdue to do, and do we accomplish that in your opinion?
Yeah, we got to play focused. Can't get off kilter like we did against Iowa. Even though we won that game, we looked all out of sorts, man. Ant Wright is 41. Thank you, Rickus Mortys. But we got out of sorts, man. That first half, just no energy. Somebody's got to show up with the energy right off the bat. When you get on these road trips, you can't start off slow. So we got to come out. We got to hammer them right off the bat. They're a bigger team, and you can't let their players get going like that in the Big Ten, like we did with Iowa. We just let them get going. And then you're going to let people hang around. That's when you lose close games. This team has only lost 3 games total. I mean, they're not a bad team. They haven't played anybody really great, but they beat Seton Hall, beat Arizona State, San Diego. So they've got some decent wins, and we can't let them hang around. Got to get it off the jump, boys.
Yeah, I agree. Starting off games has been troublesome for us, and I think that we need to figure out how to start off better. And this is a game where we should be able to do it. It feels like we haven't had a breakout shooting game in a really long time. That's got to be coming here shortly. Please figure out a way, guys, to hit 4 or 5 threes in the first 8 minutes. We just haven't done that in forever. It feels like, and I need to see it happen. So that's going to kind of be my thought process here. God, there is a lot of Ant Wright discussion. Ant Wright, I'm sorry if you're watching this on Twitter,
bring
Ant
him in, dude.
Hop in here, bro.
Bring him in.
But yeah, I just think we need to see Purdue start off hot and just put the hammer down. This could be a game. We've watched what other good teams have done to this team. Michigan and Michigan State went 29 and 30-point victories. Now, I think those were at home, but either way, it doesn't matter. We've got to come out and we've got to be dominant. We've got to win. So let's go down what we want to see from some of the Purdue players. one thing that you want to see from each one of these guys. What's one thing you want to see from Braden Smith?
Braden, uh, don't talk about your first half again. That's what I want. Don't don't have to say those things about your first half anymore. Full 40-minute game from Braden.
Yeah. Um, I like that. I think with Braden, for me, it's rebounding. He's kind of went away from being a good rebounding guard. And when he gets rebounds, it does a lot more than just getting a rebound. He takes that rebound, and that's a fast break. And that's one way you can kind of get this team on the run a little bit. So I want to see him get, let's call it 4 rebounds or more in this game. Um, what about Fletcher?
Fletcher's got to get the threes going, man. We're not far off from February. It's gut check time for Fletcher. I know everyone knows what they're looking to do with him, and it's follow him around the arc. So if not, then you need to get inside and score, because Clough and TKR can both seal bigger guys away from you, and no more junk like trying to draw fouls. If you're gonna go up strong. Try to dunk it. Just go for the rim.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll put Blake's thing up here. Blake said USC is really good at defending the three. They don't give up a lot of looks. I agree that that's accurate. However, Musselman's known for changing his entire game plan every time he plays Purdue. I know it's only been once, but he completely changed it last year. Did something they hadn't done all year. So if they do that again and high hedge all the way out to half court, that should leave up, as long as Braden's getting rid of the ball correctly, that should lead wide open three after wide open three. So for Fletcher in this game, I'm going to say 5 or more threes. I said this, we need a breakout game from 3 as a team. That starts with Fletcher Lawyer. I believe he's due. I believe Purdue is due. And sometimes when you've been at home for 3 straight games and shooting's been blah, getting to another gym can be the best thing for you. Like, let me see another basket because they aren't going in here. So that's what I want to see from Fletcher. What about CJ Cox?
CJ. So if CJ scores 14, I feel like we easily win this game. That's I I want to see him put Chad Baker Mazara in hell as well. 2 things I'll ask of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see. I think I want to see CJ just be a little. I want to see an aggressive CJ game. Um,
Yeah.
because like if they're high hedging Braden and they're making life hell on Braden, which I expect, somebody else is going to have to get the ball at the top of the key and go do something with it. And I think CJ is the one guy on our team who can go create his own shot, can go hit from all 3 levels. And obviously, yeah, you got to put Mazzara in a bag of Cox, but at the same time, like this is a high scoring USC team. We're going to have to score points, and we're going to have to get the ball up and do it. Rick Morty is working on getting an official response for us. Blake Whitmer says, I think Omer might have a breakout game his size. That's very true. We'll get to Omer here in just a second, but I agree with his physicality. It could be a lot of Braden, Omer, and CJ in there. We'll kind of see how that plays out. What about, let's go with Trey.
Trey, effort plays. Get on the boards. Like to see over 8 boards. I'll be reasonable, but I don't think there's any reason that if you're it's like my boss tells me all the time, his son's a high school, high level athlete. He doesn't care that he scored 39 the other night. He cares that he had 10 rebounds because that's the effort play.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drop 39. Obviously, that's very challenging, and I've never done it. But like 10 rebounds is saying something, man. You made a statement there. So let's see that effort and that strength, man. Let's go.
Yep. Yep. TKR for me, I'm going to go draw 5 fouls. I want to see this guy go to the basket. Their bigs like to cause fouls on other people. They're not going to have, outside of this giant guy that comes in that's not very good, they're not going to have a huge, like, tall size advantage. They're not going to have a quickness advantage. But just want to see them really get going, or get him really get going on the inside, not on the floater, on the inside, and be aggressive going toward the basket. Rickus, you never derail us. We are never on the rails to begin with. He said, I don't want to derail the convo, so answer when you want. What did you guys get chills when Coach Luss said, who are we? That's fine. Yeah, that 9.5 minute video, at least for me, I'll let Dalton speak on it too, but was incredible. What Luss said, Brantley, when he's huddled around him with his arms around him, Painter, just in the huddle telling them wake the fuck up or whatever he said. It was just, man, our coaching staff is so elite and so good. And that was the craziest and most intense I've ever seen Lusk on any of those videos. And I watch all of them. I put a whole thing together for the first half of the season with them combined. And he was into it, man. And I love to see that. That's why I think, Lusk is one of the best assistant coaches in the country and probably one of the most undervalued as well. What were your thoughts on that? Because that was an awesome. I was not expecting a 9-minute video from the Iowa game.
Yeah, I mean, just the cut was awesome, and like the guy that makes him was like, "I'm sorry that I was really getting into this." Like, oh, we're glad you did, like, because I mean, it was just an incredible cut. Uh, that game was a battle, man. It's the way you look at chess. It's the way you look at a war. Like, strategic moves. It's playing chess. And we played chess that night. It was good. I love it. And yes, I get chills off of these things.
Yeah, yeah, and Rick has said same. That's why I got chills. Van Painter was oh shit, he's going there. Yeah, it was awesome. Really did appreciate it, and loved the video. That whoever made that, whoever does Purdue socials in general is one of the best out there. Maybe the best, probably the best.
Top notch, baby.
All right, let's jump down to Oscar Clough, your boy. What do you want to see from Oscar in this game? Obviously, this is a very important game in my opinion for Oscar. This is why we went and got Oscar Clough.
I need double doubles back. We ain't seen them in a minute. I need double doubles, and I need strong on the block defense on those two bigs. Whoever you're on, clough them up. Clough them up.
Yes. Yep. I was just going to say be the most physical guy on the court. It's kind of hard to quantify, but a double-double is probably a good signal of that, is to just bang with these guys. If anybody's going to be picking up fouls on Purdue, let it be Clough, just because I know his fouls matter. They count for more. They hurt a little bit more. They got to go do the suction cup therapy afterwards. Yeah. He's just, and maybe with a happy ending. We'll don't know. We'll find out. But it's something that last year is what we truly did not have is a guy who could go do this with these, this guy, they got a guy that's 6'9", 250, and then another guy that's 6'10", 240. So he's going to be vital in this game. And I think DJ will be too, from a different standpoint of just being able to help on Mazzara trying to get in the lane and help on some of these bigs. He can block shots, so that's big for us as well. Yeah, I agree kind of here. Oscar, just keep doing what he's been doing. He is just such a consistent force on this team. That's what I love about Oscar Clough. And Saluki said no foul trouble in the first half. Yeah, I'm not saying I want him to be in foul trouble. I'm saying that I want the fouls. If we're going to foul them, which we will, I want them to count. I don't want ticky-tack BS. Like, this is a physicality game, and this game it's going to matter a lot. Rick says he's getting teased for boxing out. Yeah, and he doesn't even know he's getting teased. He's just looking around like, what happened, mate? I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, no foul trouble would be nice. I really want to see Purdue be the more physical team because it feels like we haven't been. Even in our most recent 3 victories, it felt like we just were better. We weren't more physical. And I just want to see us be better and more physical because that's when we win games by 20 to 30 points. I'd love to see that happen. Let's go to the bench. DJ, I think either is going to be a huge part of this game or a kind of a small part. What do you think from DJ? What do you want to see from him?
I'm not expecting a lot. It's 1-1 with DJ. Usually you get one good game, then one not so much. I won't say it's bad, but he's just not there. So I would say come in and catch 2 lobs. That'll change the tempo of the game. It'll get Braden feeling free with his passes. So, and TK also loves to throw those lobs to Mr. DJ. So,
yeah, I'm gonna say 2 counterproductive or like things that go completely against each other. Wall up because you're not stronger than these guys. Okay, so just put your hands straight up. But then also, I want to see 3 or more blocks. So take that as you will, because I think that this is a game that he can get a lot of weak side blocks whenever TKR is guarding someone, or if he's ever in with Clough or some of these guards come down. I think he can get some weak side blocks, and he's got to be a presence out there because what USC does do well is they block shots. So a way to counter a block shot on one end is to block one on the other end because they're huge momentum swingers in games. So What about Jakari Harris?
G. Uh, just be the fill-in when Cox is off the floor. Be the physical guard that we need out along the perimeter, especially with CBM and some decent sized guards. We're going to need you to really be physical and body up for us.
Yeah, Andy in here with some just absolutely wild, incredibly accurate takes. I'd like to make all of our shots and they miss all theirs. If we could do
Yeah.
that, we win. Yeah,
Let's go,
sounds like a
baby.
great plan. Really
Yeah.
think that makes sense. And then
Can we
Saluki
go
throws
for
in.
the rest of the year on that?
Yeah, we damn near did it for the last 11 minutes of the last
Yeah.
game. Clough and DJ need to combine for 2020 or better. That might be high, but I don't hate it.
I think
I always like to
dude,
combine the three bigs, TKR, Clough, and Jacobson. And I think we need to go 30 and 20 between those three.
if
But
we do that, I think we win by 30.
yeah, and that's what I would like to do. I would like to win by 30. My
you
dad will
guys
be at
are-
this game, so that would be fun.
You're very optimistic.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
are all
let's
saying
make
it.
all of our shots, and both
Yeah.
our bigs have double doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Keep it up, guys.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
bringing my
Keep the
spirits
hot
up.
takes coming.
Yeah.
You're really making us feel better. The Jakari for me, I just want to see Jakari be aggressive. They USC is not known for their defense. They're like 58th in defensive efficiency. This is a game I think he could get to the basket if he wanted to, and kind of draw some fouls on these bigger guys. So I'd really like to see that happen. And then let's go to Omer. Earlier, Blake touched on Omer, thought it could be a big Omer game. So what do you think about Omer in this game? What do you want to see from him?
I don't.
Is that
I mean, Omer, 3 assists. That's
Yeah.
all I'm asking for. Thanks, Blake. Wherever you may be heading,
Illy?
probably down to the Jamrock Market.
Yeah, I mean, when you live in Jamaica, you could be doing anything.
You can do anything you want.
Yeah, he lives in a fantasy world that we don't get
Yeah.
to live in. Yeah, I want to see for Omer just kind of like what you said. Just go in and do your job. Be physical if you're going to be in the game. You are a chiseled Greek man that's also from Israel, but
Yeah.
you are built like a chiseled Greek god. I just want you to go in and be as physical as you can. Again, I'm going to say the same thing I did last game because it worked. Hit your first jump shot. So I need the first one to go in. I feel like in one of these two games on this West Coast, he's going to go off. Like, he's played pro basketball. He's used to these kind of trips. He's already overseas. Like, this isn't abnormal to him. And he's got to have a game where he plays like 12 to 15 minutes and goes off for like 16 points. I just think it's going to happen. My wife's asking for more popcorn.
Hey, you better get on that, buddy.
Yeah, make the
You know what it
popcorn
is.
and don't
You
make
know
that
what it
bagged
is.
stuff. Don't make the bag stuff, dude. I
Yeah.
want real kernels, real butter. Make it
Put
good.
it on the stove, Blake. Put it on the stove. bro.
Organic salt, kosher salt, if you would. But yes, no, that's awesome. And then let's go to our boy, step back, Jack Benner. What do you see from him in this game? Do you think he plays a lot in this game? Because he's going to be drastically undersized if he enters this game.
I think he's good at the 3. I think he's perfect at the 3. I think he should be played in Fletch minutes, which we probably won't see. I'm always dreaming that way, but I just think he's a big physical guy out there. Another one, he's a Jakari size guy who's going to move people around out there, and I wish Paint would watch the show and listen to me that I think Jack needs minutes at the 3 because there's just I want to see 3 threes go up from him. I don't think he gets as many minutes, and I also don't think Omer gets as many minutes in this game.
Yeah, this feels like unless it's a blowout in the second half, this could be a tight rotation. Blake says Whirly Pop is the only way. Don't even know what that is.
It's the stuff that comes in the tin, I believe.
Yes. If it's the Christmas popcorn with the cheddar and all that fun
Not
stuff.
that one, dude. I'm talking like the metal tin that you sit on the stove and it pops. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Ricketts Morty said Jackie Buckets, and Blake Widmer, dang, there's too many messages. Says, get that Amish seasoned salt from up in Shipshewana. Shipshewana is a glorious place if no one's ever been there. It is all Amish, and there's
Shout
this
out
place.
to the Amish.
There's this like little weird Amish mall, and if you go upstairs, there's this sandwich shop, and they put it on this gigantic like croissant type of thing. It is one of the greatest. It's like a $17 sandwich, but one of the greatest sandwiches you'll ever have.
If
Just
any
a little.
Amish people are watching right now, I'm just gonna stop the joke right there. That's the joke, dude.
That's the joke. Rickus, we accept your apology. Arnie's Pizza, one of the best. Can't argue with that reasoning. Oh my God. Thank you for that, Dalton. Really love it. Really going to try to flip my attitude on that and just embrace it and say that it's one of my favorite things about the show is when that stupid alarm goes off. Um, I know I'm breaking up this, but Isaac Romig said Purdue next four stretch I think determines if Purdue wins the Big Ten, sweep the West Coast, beat Illinois, and at IU. Yeah, I mean 100%. If Purdue goes 4-0 in that stretch, we are winning the Big Ten. That's 100% in my belief.
Shout
What are your
out to
thoughts on that?
Isaac.
Like,
What up, bro?
what up, Isaac?
Yeah, I think it makes it a lot easier if we come back and beat Illinois. I think it's going to be probably the hardest game of the whole Big Ten season. Um, and I think Illinois determines how we play against IU. It could either be very lax coming out if we just beat Illinois, and we could face another one of those first halves, or we could be pissed and come out and absolutely just beat the shit out of IU. So I think how these next three games go will determine how we handle IU. Because this team seems to play that way.
I think 4-0, in my opinion, I know Blake's saying it doesn't guarantee anything, but to me, it's pretty close to guaranteeing with the rest of the schedule and how it shakes out for everyone. 4-0 puts us in 100% the driver's seat of this league. 3-1, we're still fine. And I think that's probably what we end up going in this 4-game stretch. 2-2 really puts a damper on things. So you really want to win 3 of these next 4 at minimum.
Yeah.
Quickly, I wanted to hit this. I know everybody in here has probably watched Running Point. What did you think of Braden saying West would be the leading scorer next year? I thought personally that was probably the correct call. Not necessarily that it will happen, but I just kind of think Braden's a bit of a psycho and probably thought, how can I motivate Jakari, Omer, and CJ all at one time? I can say that Antoine West is going to be the leading scorer next year, and they're all going to be like, oh, really? Well, that's what I'm about to do. And that's my only hope is that that's what he was doing. But if Antoine West is our leading scorer next year, my only question to that is why the hell is he redshirting?
Not enough minutes for the guy.
Yeah, but if he's that good.
CJ is going to be our leading scorer next year. So I'll disagree with you, Braden. I just think that CJ seizes the moment when it's there, and there's not a lot of moments this year, and he's still seizing moments. Yeah, I put that up there. Thanks, Andy, for noticing. Derek really needs to fix that smoke detector at his house.
Yeah, Andy, he's keeping a running tally of how many times you get me with that thing, and we'll go right there, 5-0 for the smoke detector. I'll probably never win. At this point, I don't even think I can win because it's in my head. I have dreams about it. I don't like it. Saluki says at Nebraska is going to be our toughest game. They're tough to beat at home. Yeah. I wouldn't say toughest. I still think Michigan and Illinois are going to be really, really tough even at home.
I think we'll handle those environments really well. Our players are so used to playing in an environment like that. Like, even when they're at Mackey, it's still loud when they're on offense. And that's when you really are affected by it. So they're used to that. I don't know that it does really shake, and especially with 4 seniors playing who have played in big moments like that, I don't think they get shook as much this year. Aaron Fine, Empoy, baby. That's the facts.
Will be one of these days. Yeah. Isaac Romig again said the stretch at Nebraska, then at Iowa. Then Purdue gets rewarded the 3-game homestand of Michigan, IU, and Michigan State. Yeah, that's a tough stretch. At Nebraska, at Iowa, and then home against 2 title contenders in this league and probably bottom 2 team in the league in IU. I'm just kidding. A tough game always against your rival when it comes to IU, of course. So, yeah, Purdue's schedule is extremely backloaded, if we're being completely honest. We haven't played hardly anybody yet. And I don't think it's going to get any easier. That's for dang sure. Blake thinks DJ is going to lead us in scoring. I think that's 100% possible.
Fair.
There's a lot of mocks right now putting him in the NBA draft.
Nope. can't do it.
I don't see how. I think he needs at least another year.
I mean, he could do it. I just don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm just gonna speak that into not
Yeah,
existing.
no, DJ, no.
Like DJ,
One
that's
more.
one of the worst financial decisions of your life. Purdue
Yeah,
pay the
one
man.
more, pal. One more.
Pay
Look
the
at Edie.
man.
Look at what's going on with Edie right now. Do you want that? Do you want that?
Blake continues to rub salt in my wounds with the need to donate some money. And then Rick Morty he spits in his opinion here. I say there is a tie for leading scorer. DJ, JB, CJ, Luke, and West, all with 20 a game. Purdue plays only 5 guys, and they average 100 a game and win the Natty. I'm kind of with you. I think that like my true contenders were West, DJ, and Ertl because those are I think CJ is just meant to be a 10 to maybe max of 12 to 14 point a game role player. Who plays great defense. I don't think you can be the defensive leader and the offensive leader. It's very, very hard. It almost never happens.
It's okay to be wrong, but
it is okay to be wrong, and I am often wrong. If you go talk to my wife, I'm always wrong.
You can talk to me. I'm your friend too.
Blake says that DJ's dad is wise, and you are not my friend. You are my arch nemesis that masquerades around as my friend, only to slowly but surely tear me down.
That's hilarious.
And Slugi said maybe with NIL he'll stay. I think DJ's staying at least another year.
Yeah.
I truly do. All right, let's. We ran through all those comments. There's a lot of comments there in a rush, but I will say what I want from Jack Benner. You guys won't get me off that track. Yeah, what I want from Step Back Jack in this game is I don't care if he plays 1 minute or 28 minutes. I need three attempts, 3-point attempts in every single game that he ever enters. And if he has to do it in 48 seconds, then he has to do it in 48 seconds. But that's what I need from him. All right, what's one thing we got to somewhat get this back on track a little bit? What's one thing that that you think if USC does this, they will win this game?
Get the bigs in foul trouble. I think if Clough and TKR are battling foul trouble and they're out in the first half, I think we struggle in the first half and they're at home, so you can't let them hang around. And I think that happens if we have TKR and Clough on the bench and Jack and DJ are having to carry the load. I think we get into Dangerville there.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think that if UFC, what we're watching some fighting out here. This might be a UFC
baby.
Match. That's not a plug, not a sponsor. Wish you were, and
that'd be cool.
That would be dope. But I think USC, if they shoot 40% or better from 3, can win this game. They're not like a high volume 3-point shooting team, but that's at home. If they get that, they have a chance because they're good enough on the interior and they have enough size. And Mazzara can do so much wild stuff that I think that gives them a shot at least. Rick Morty did ask if we talked about TKR's effort and Fletch calling it out in the postgame. We did talk about that in the postgame for the Iowa. Go check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, with Sam from Bench Points. If you guys are on this live, go check out Bench Points. They make some good content. It's not all Purdue based, so a little outside of our realm. We plan on probably next year covering more, but for right now, this is a grind. Just for Purdue. So
yeah, we're just grinding, trying to, I think maybe next season we're going to start doing some quick stuff on some other games like recaps and stuff. But Rick Morty does say USC is really bad, man. I've watched them 3 or 4 times. They're god awful. That's my take on them. That's kind of why this show has just kind of gone back and forth from being on target to just going into random spurts. They're not a good basketball team, and when they play good basketball teams, it's exposed. But they're scrappy enough and athletic enough to beat some okay teams. If you go look, the reason they were ranked, I mean, to be honest, was they played a terrible weak offseason schedule, and they also had Rodney Rice on the team. And Rodney Rice, if you don't remember, is one of the best players, best guards in the country, in my opinion. I was begging Purdue to pick him up.
Stud.
Blake did say Sam was great on the show. Yeah, he was. Bench Points is good. We're gonna hop on there sometime. And Sam's a ball knower, and he's a Purdue fan, and he's good at articulating his brain.
More than welcome back on here, man.
Yeah, I really did enjoy that. That was fun. Let's go to who do you think is going to be the player of the game for Purdue? And maybe if you want to throw in like a wild card that you think, obviously Purdue's got guys that are going to do it every game, but you can give your real player of the game and then maybe somebody you think could come out of nowhere on Purdue. I know who your player of the game is going to be. It's the same every time. but I have to ask. It's part of the show.
If you watch this show, I bet you know who I'm about to say. It's my man, Oscar Clough, player of the game. He's going to beat their bigs up down low. They can't handle him, and he's going for 16 and 12. Player of the game, easy peasy. A wild card for me would be a Jack Benner game. Another 15 to 18
Another
point
one.
Jack Benner game. Yeah, exactly. Another one. Give me another Jack game. Be a wild card. Prove Jordan Stocks wrong that you do get meaningful minutes and meaningful games. Jack, I believe in you. Jordan Stocks does not, but next year when you're great, he will grift around to you.
Yeah, we'll start calling him step back, clack clack. Jack.
That's what's up. Step back, clack Jack. Baby.
Clack Jack. Yeah, because when he comes in, he's shooting. Yeah, he's shooting. He's shooting to kill too. He's not coming in to mess around and shoot targets. He's shooting off faces. My player of the game, I think, is going to be Fletcher Lawyer. I think it's a big Fletch game. I know Blake disagrees with me. I just think it's a big Fletch game. I don't know why. I have it in my heart. I just think he
will put money on it too.
I absolutely will put money on it. If they give me that. They haven't been giving me enough Fletch props. I might have to switch places I make bets, but I need more Fletch props, and I need to be able to bet on Braden assists. It's upsetting me. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, Andy, I was literally saying that to Dalton. I think that I was like, he says yeah, no before everything he ever says.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Yeah, no. 100%. And then I was asking my wife last night, why do people do this? Because I don't know. I feel like she knows things that I don't know. And I was like, why do people say yeah, no before they say stuff? And she's like, people don't say that. I'm like, go watch Running Point. You'll see it. I think it's like a acknowledging the question, and then
it's like me saying I say a lot, or but, like to fill gaps and
or people
to
say
my thoughts while I'm speaking. I believe that is what it is. He's collecting his thoughts while saying words.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude.
It's so true though. Player of the game, Fletcher Lawyer. Think he's going to score 20 plus in this game. Don't know why. Probably won't happen, but just feel it. My wild card in this game is Omer. Don't know why I'm obsessed with that like spot on the court right now. I just feel like that's the spot we can attack them. Chad Baker Mazzara, if he guards them, they'll eat him alive because he's terrible. Why are you laughing? What happened?
Rick is Morty.
Oh, I do gotta ask you.
I do gotta ask you.
I do gotta ask you though. Yeah, every time he says anything.
Oh.
So true. And I would do a Greg impression of just like being in love with Braden, but Braden's not here. So I can't do that. All right, let's get down to predictions. If anybody has any other questions you want us to hit on, do it now or forever hold your peace. If you're in the Twitter space watching this or X, please, when you're done, head over to our YouTube channel and give us a like, leave us a comment. We really appreciate it. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. I know there's quite a few people on Twitter watching, so really appreciate anybody who is watching. I think, let's go to predictions. What do you think?
You go first.
Why do I have to go first?
I'm tired of going first.
What's KenPom have this game as?
I'm tired. 83-76, 74% win for Purdue.
83-76.
Yeah.
7-point victory. I don't think it's that close. I think I'm going to go Purdue 87, USC 73.
Say again. Say number again.
I talk for no reason. It's like I might as well just go upstairs and hang out with my wife if this is how this is going to be.
Say again.
Purdue 87, USC 73, 14-point victory.
87-73. That is quite the spread. What is the actual spread? Do you know off top?
Didn't you just tell it?
No, I
you mean
the KenPom
the betting
spread.
line? No, I assume it's going to be close to this because it being at USC. I would say it's probably closer to 8.5.
Right.
I haven't looked yet. It's probably not out yet.
Give me Purdue 82, USC 72, a 10-point victory. Feel it in my plums.
Yeah, I would like Purdue to hold them under 70, and we both picked them to score over 70. That kind of makes me sad. Just a little
I just
bit.
don't think our defensive efficiency is there right now. I don't. We're leaving people open. We're getting lost in the, and they saw all those cuts Iowa were running to lose us. I don't think it's going to change that much with no walkthrough. Um, I just don't think that we can correct it that fast. And I think if they play any form of the Iowa offense and we struggle to match up on three early in the first half.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. A game Purdue's got to win, in my opinion. However, on these West Coast trips, the first game's usually the one if you're going to lose one. Did you see what Rick has said? I had it on the screen there for a second. Rick is Morty in the chat, just lighting the world on fire. Love to see it. I interact with him. I don't think he's ever watched the show or at least been live chat. I interact with him in the Sleepers Discord a lot. So
welcome, bro. Welcome.
He's a funny fella.
I see him on Twitter. I'm not in Discord. I ain't paying for that, dude. I never pay Sleepers for anything. I'm just being honest.
To me, it's the best place you can go talk to a bunch of Purdue fans, and I'll pay $10 for that anytime.
X, baby.
Yeah, X has psychopaths like Boiler Muse, who, again, I'm a fan of Boiler Muse. However, he's a psychopath. Rewatching the IO game a few times, Purdue did some early rotos. On D, rotations on D that were good. Early on in that game, it felt like our rotations were slightly off. And then you found out kind of that Painter was like, these are the guys we need to leave open. And then they just happened to go 7 for 8 from 3. Make 7 threes when they've made 11 combined. All right. Appreciate you being subbed, Rick Morty. Really do appreciate that. You're like me. You're a content connoisseur. I can't help myself but watch everything.
Junkie.
Yeah, I'm a junkie. I can't help it. My wife gets a little upset at times because I'm just laying in bed listening to somebody else talk, except for her. But
there's a lot worse things, bro, that you can really be into. So
I am gonna hit you guys real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh yeah, hold on. We got. Let me see if I can pull it up. All right, we do have a special segment for everybody. I don't know how long you've been watching, but we do a segment where Derek's dad texts him some off-the-wall shit at least once a day, and we are going to share some of that with you. We have Muggsy says one of our favorite segments.
Yes, so my dad is now in California. He's going to both of these games, USC and UCLA. I have family out in California, so I was gonna go, but I just couldn't do it after we just went on vacation recently. So my dad says this. It's slightly long, but bear with me. There's moments. He says, day one of the LA trip is in the books. I left for Indy Airport at 10 p.m. on Wednesday night for a 7 a.m. Thursday flight. Was worried that weather could have been a problem. It wasn't. Tried sleeping at the airport. Not. Got a boarding pass at 3:30 on the plane at 6:45. Stop in Vegas for a 2-hour layover. I'll stay away from the gambling tables. There's no winners here. Walk out of the airport, 80 degrees, and I'm in a hoodie. That's gone. And then he talks about they drove around the Palisades and stuff and saw that. And then he says, after 11 hours of sleep, I'm ready to hit the town. I'll check in tomorrow. And that's just my dad in a nutshell. All of that, almost like he's living in a story he is telling.
We love you, Muggs.
It is interesting.
What a guy. If you ever get a chance to meet Muggs, go out of your way to do it.
Absolutely.
Hilarious man. So,
Rickus, I see your thing about Locked On. We won't hit on that. He's been on our show. And we've been on his show.
We were on his.
Yeah. Oh, no, we were on his show. He hasn't been on our show. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. And he does add this because he must know that I'm a Cubs fan. We got Bregman. Oh, whoop.
Come on, bro.
He says, we got Bregman, baby. I agree. And then, yeah, he says, good luck to the Dodgers paying Tucker $240 million. Yeah, a guy who couldn't get it done for the Cubs and was pretty much horrible all year. He wouldn't touch that guy with a 10-foot pole. Well, if he gets too close to me, he won't have an option. What was that? Yeah. Why are you quacking at me? Will you stop? That's worse than the damn alarm, dude. Don't freaking quack at me, dude. You should know, like, one of my biggest fears in this world is birds. They're horrible things. They're disgusting.
Even better.
They just attack you for no reason. They don't need to be wherever they are. I don't like birds. So don't quack. Anyway, sorry, got angry there for a second. All right. Do you have anything else you want to hit on USC? This hour and 10-minute USC preview continues to baffle me at the things that we have just talked about during this.
No, man, it's been fun. I love going live. Thank you guys for coming in. We had, I think, at the most like 13, 14. That's probably the highest we've ever had. We're still growing. Like I always ask every show, please just share this with somebody. I don't care if you send it to them in a message, a text, on Snapchat, whatever. Just help us grow, man. Um, we're huge Boiler fans. We're at the games. We're at the games, and I noticed that um, most people's favorite Purdue show is not Purdue fans. So I would love to see that switch up, whether it's us or somebody else. We owe it to the Purdue community to elevate the shows that are Purdue diehard fans. So just please share this out with somebody, and thank you guys for showing up and hanging out with us.
Yeah, 100% agree. We did have, at one point 60 people on Twitter watching live. So if you're over there, please come over, hit like and subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. We do a lot of Purdue stuff, especially right now, but we will continue to grow and do more recaps of other teams. We also put out, when the season's right, Cubs stuff. I'm a big Bears fan, but I don't want to step on Braggs' toes because he's my guy. And I'd rather watch his content anyway because they have a full production. But we will hit on that stuff sometimes. I did want to announce really quick, we have a guest coming on before the IU game. I think we're close enough now we can say it. Cobra Stats, if you've ever followed him on Twitter, is going to be on the show. We're going to be asking him stuff about, how he gets what he gets, what his process is, as well as fun stats. I asked him to come up with some cool stats and stuff from the Purdue IU rivalry. Really excited for that because Cobra Stats has been one of my favorite follows for a really long time. And if you don't follow him, go follow him. He is absolutely awesome. He's absolutely great. So really excited to have him on. I don't know, is Isaac coming on?
Yeah, I've still got a plan with Isaac. I don't think he's in here now, but yeah, we'll have Isaac roaming on soon. Yeah, Blake, Cobra, we're stoked about it, man. Derek went out and got another one. Shout out to my podcast partner here, not in a lover's type of way, but in a podcaster's type of way. He goes out and gets big names and cool people for us to interview, and I'm just here for the ride. So thank you to Derek.
Yeah, Blake, I believe I'll tell you here right now since you're on here, it is
What do
going
you
to
say, the
be
26th?
is that it? Yeah, the 26th, which is the Monday before the IU game, which is on Tuesday. So it'll be our preview to the IU game probably as well. We might split it into two things and do that first and then bring him on. But it'll be live. So if you have questions for him, DM us or, send us stuff in the chat. Or if you're in the Discord, my name's Zach Edie Sushi Spot in there. Hit me up in there as well. But
Paints Painter on X.
Paints Painter on X for him, Purdue B-Ball Guy for me, or Derek Jordan CBB. Any of it is going to be fun. I really am excited for that one. That's weirdly enough one of my favorite possible guests because he hasn't been on anywhere. Nobody even really knows who he is. But he's one of the coolest guys when it comes to statistics out there, especially in the Purdue space. I assume one day he will work for Purdue. Would be my guess. So we have some stuff planned. Still always trying to add more people. Roll, that's my guy. That's my pseudonym in Discord. But yeah, appreciate everybody for watching. Definitely try to share this if you can, and let people know about us. We're trying to grow, like Dalton said, and we really just want to be. We really just want to be a people's podcast. And yes, I see what you say there, Morty. I'm not going to put it up. But just trying to be a people's podcast, be one for the people, and give you guys stuff that maybe, obviously, you're going to see some overlap between things that other podcasts do, but try to give you a different version of it. There's some great other podcasts, and we support them as well. And we just want to be the best version of ourselves that we can be to you guys. We're going to be doing at some point. We keep talking about it, but we need to actually do it. Maybe we'll do it this weekend or something. A State of College Basketball podcast where we kind of try to hit on the entire the entire landscape of college basketball and where it's at halfway through the season. So look forward to that.
We know what you're saying, bro. We know what you're saying.
Yeah, we see you.
We're
you
well
just,
aware.
We see you.
Some people get media passes before others, so we also know that. So
Yes, yes, and one day we will have them
it's
out
frustrating.
of sheer they have to give them to us. But
Yep.
appreciate everybody. Thanks for joining on the live. I don't know when our next live will be. There's a chance we'll go live after USC just because I don't know what
Maybe
you
the
have.
state, bro. Sunday.
Yes,
I don't
yeah.
know what
Maybe
we're
Sunday
doing.
we'll do the state of college basketball. And yeah, we did actually. Rick has covered the Cubs a decent amount when we first started this, and the Cubs
In
were
the
still
off
playing,
season.
and it's just off season time right now. But I think even I could start putting out some individual stuff. And yeah, we probably won't cover the Colts. We do cover football sometimes during football season as a whole, but I'm a Bears fan. Sorry if you hate that, but Bears might be an
Thanks,
Indiana
Andy.
soon. Yes, thanks, Andy. Appreciate everybody. And we'll get out of here. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. Really appreciate everybody who has hopped in here, hopped in on X, hopped to the chat, or just watched on YouTube or will watch later. Make sure you share it with your friends, like, subscribe. And we appreciate everybody. Peace
Later,
out.
y'all. Have a good weekend. Boiler up.